Alright, so I've just got back from trekking to Everest Base Camp and Gokyo Lakes, and I thought I'd do a quick little what I packed and what you should pack. So yeah, I haven't even unpacked. We had to put all our stuff in the duffel bag that the tour company gave us back into our suitcases to change hotels, but apart from that I've left it as is, so I will show you now. Alright, so it's in no particular order, but I will put in the description an actual list in categories to make it easier, and probably a few links to some items as well. First things first, a good pair of boots. I got these from Kathmandu. I will link them below. They're Gore-Tex. They kept my feet super warm. They're really comfy. And yeah, no complaints about them at all. Just make sure that you wear your boots in before you take them. Second thing, take either some thongs or some pair of slides. I got recommended to take these because you can wear them with socks. Obviously it's freezing up on the track, so if you can wear these with socks, obviously better than just thongs with bare feet because it is very cold. And also a pair of runners, just for when you get to your tea house at night. Often you'll have, you know, 3 or 4 hours spare time, and often you don't really want to be wearing your trekking boots around, although they are warm and comfy. You just get sick of them being in them all day, and it's sometimes a lot easier to just slip these on. Would recommend those 3 pairs of shoes. A towel. So this is from Kathmandu. It's just a little microfiber towel. It is quite small, but honestly I only used it twice for showering. We were gone for 17 days, and twice I paid for a shower. It was about $6 Australian. And when you get out it is freezing, so I wouldn't recommend doing it very often, which I didn't. But yeah, just a nice compact towel that will dry quickly because it is very cold up there, so you don't want anything that's going to stay wet for a long time. So some books. I don't read, but I took a crossword, word search, puzzle book to do. As I said, there is a fair bit of free time. We used it I think once or twice, but honestly most of my spare time was spent editing photos, so if you're not a photographer, then yes, either a book to read or a puzzle book is good. Also just a book to write in and keep notes, that was handy. Obviously some pens, texters, and I also took a map. I just bought this in Kathmandu before we left. It was like a few dollars, and it was cool to just follow along and write on the map where we're going. Some snacks. If you have protein bars from home that you like, I would recommend taking them. I took some of these Cliff bars and they were good. You can buy food along the way, but there's not many protein bars or muesli bars or anything like that. Mars bars and Snickers you'll probably find everywhere, and Pringles and snacky type things, but it is hard to get all the protein in that you need, so I would recommend taking some protein bars, and then you know you like them as well. Definitely recommend a hat. It does get quite sunny. Obviously depending on the weather it can change so quickly, but a good hat that's lightweight, so if it does get sweaty or wet or anything it'll dry quickly. This one from Kathmandu was really good. Pretty much all day every day I either wore a hat or a beanie. So a hat and a beanie. You will live in these, especially the beanie at night. We slept in the beanie. It was freezing. So a good quality hat and a good quality beanie. A deck of playing cards is really handy, also for the spare time that you get at the tea houses. These are just from Kathmandu. They are waterproof ones, which we didn't need, but I mean it is handy if your bag gets wet or something. They were only like $10 or something. They were cheap. Obviously take all the chargers for your gear, camera gear and everything. With your cameras, take spare batteries, which I did as well, because the cold will basically just kill all your batteries. You'll charge them and then you go to use it out when it's minus 10 degrees and they'll just die straight away. So take as many spare batteries as you have, and SD cards as well, obviously, for your camera. So drink bottles. Now we took these drink bottles, the Life Straw Go I think it's called. They were really handy because basically it's got the filter in the drink bottle. So you could fill this up anywhere and just drink it straight away and the water is fine. It filters all the bacteria and everything out. We had no issues drinking them the whole time. They were really great. Because if you don't have one of these or one with a filter, you'll have to put an aqua tab in it, which takes half an hour. and then you can drink it and basically cleans the water, but you do have to wait half an hour. So with this, you can drink it straight away. You can fill it up from a creek, you can fill it up from wherever you want basically, and it's fine. So that was really good. A good idea is taking a little drink bottle for electrolytes. Obviously trekking all day takes its toll, and you do sweat a lot. Being at high altitude, you need to make sure you're drinking enough water and staying hydrated. So I actually bought this in Namche Bazaar because I didn't think of it beforehand, and it was really handy. It was only a few dollars, but take a little one if you have them. I took electrolytes from home, just Hydrolyte, but I did find that I need more, and I did get a bit sick along the way, so I bought more. So I got these. They were like $1 a packet up there as well. So a few places that you'll stop will have like a pharmacy or doctor where you can go buy these. Otherwise, Namche Bazaar has everything you could possibly need, which is where I got the drink bottle as well. Sunscreen is a must. It is very sunny, and obviously at high altitude, the sun reflects off the snow as well. So make sure you wear lots of sunscreen. We reapplied this every time we stopped for a tea break or lunch break, because otherwise we would have been burnt, and a few people did get sunburnt. And I couldn't think of anything worse, to be honest, while trekking. So a medical kit. I went to a travel doctor before I left, and they recommended and gave me some antibiotics in case I get a stomach bug, diarrhea or anything like that. So obviously do your own research, go to your local doctor, a travel doctor even if you can, and they will give you some stuff to take. But basically take any medications that you would normally need at home or could possibly need, because up there, if something happens, you can't rely on being able to go to a pharmacy and get something. So take any possible thing you could imagine you would need. Prepare for being sick. Pretty much everyone in our group got sick, whether that was gut sickness like diarrhea or just a common cold. I just had a cold, which most people had. So just a cough, runny nose, headache. So make sure you take, if you take any cold and flu tablets, anything like that. Vitamin C, any supplements you might take. Magnesium we found was good for muscle recovery and sleep. But yeah, anything that you would normally take if you got sick. And then things like gastro stop and, you know, just your regular medications. And then obviously just general first aid kit things like band-aids, bandages. My friend Ash obviously rolled her ankle day 3 and, you know, needed a compression bandage, and creams like Voltaren are good for swelling or inflammation. So we took earplugs. The walls are paper thin and people do snore right next door to you. We didn't really need them too much because we were exhausted, so we just passed out. But I would recommend taking earplugs, even if you're a light sleeper. A sleeping mask, but again, didn't need that. Toilet paper, nowhere that you stay, maybe one place at the very beginning or very end will have toilet paper, but take as much as you can fit in your bag or in your weight allowance, because it is cheaper to buy in Kathmandu. If not, buy a whole heap in Namche Bazaar, because the prices go up as you get higher in altitude. Obviously toothbrush, toothpaste, hairbrush. A little mirror is handy. A lot of places we stayed didn't have a mirror, and they obviously all shared bathrooms, so that is handy. Dry shampoo if you want. Again, we didn't use it, but it is good to have when you're not washing your hair for 17 days. So hand sanitizer, take lots of that. Even just after going to the bathroom, the water is absolutely freezing to wash your hands, and the water's probably dirty anyway, so just take a whole heap of hand sanitizer. Deodorant, obviously. Take a lot of lip balm, especially ones that have SPF in them, because your lips will get very dry and cracked, if not from the sun, just from the cold, dry air. So that was good as well. Also take a whole heap of tissues. As I said, everyone in our group got sick. And same as the toilet paper, it gets more expensive as you go up. You can buy it, but take as many as you can beforehand. We took a power board and adapter. It was handy because the last couple of days we did actually have power points in our room, which was a nice surprise. So this was really good. We just charge everything out while we did have free electricity, because that is also very rare to find. And obviously your adapter If you can, take a universal one because the adapters are different, like in Kathmandu compared to up there, and a lot of places just use different ones, so a universal one is ideal. Gloves, obviously it gets really cold, so I took 2 pairs. I took like a thin, I guess like a liner type one that you can still do things with and aren't really bulky. They're supposed to work with your phone and stuff, but they didn't. And then a thicker pair of like snow waterproof gloves. If you're planning on doing like Kalapata or Gokyo Re or summiting any peak really, I would recommend getting like -15 rated gloves because my fingers are still cold in these, and I didn't do Kalapata, but people who did said their fingers were going blue with snow gloves on, so make sure you get really good rated ones. So a sleeping bag, you will need to take your own sleeping bag. Some places do have blankets, but don't rely on it because they don't all have them, and even still you'll be cold just with the blanket. So I took this Kathmandu Pathfinder one. It was really good, and obviously it folds up really small, which is handy, and it's pretty lightweight. It's down, so it kept us really warm. And yes, would definitely recommend one of these. Also a pillowcase. All the tea houses do supply pillows, but I would not recommend sleeping on them because I doubt they get washed very often, so taking your own is a very good idea. Take a packet of wipes. As I said, you won't be showering very often, if at all. So these were basically our showers, and while they are heavy and can take up a fair bit of room because you will need a lot, I'd recommend a few per day. You definitely need these, so that was good. A head torch, especially if you, like I said, are doing Kalapata or Gokyo Re, because you might start or finish in the dark. And then even just around the tea houses, like a lot of them, the electricity was really bad, and a couple of times where, you know, eating dinner and the power would just go out, so, or for getting up in the night to go to the toilet, so a head torch is great. Okay, so clothing, I bought a heap of these packing cubes, which are really good because, as I said, our company gave us big duffel bags to put all our stuff into for the porters to carry, and these are just really handy to keep things separate, you know, your pants, your tops, your underwear, whatever, rather than just chucking it all in and trying to find things. So I took two pairs of trekking pants, one lightweight one that just kind of zips off at the knee so they can be shorts. I only wore them, I think, the first day, and I never zipped them off as shorts because it was pretty cold. But you do get hot while trekking, so it's up to you. It was good to have kind of a lightweight pair and then a nice thick pair as well. So these are the ones I wore basically every single day. These are from Kathmandu. Really good quality. They dried really quickly. They've got the zips at the bottom, so you can make them bigger to go around your boots, but mine fitted perfectly without needing to extend them. Heaps of pockets. They regulated the temperature really well. So I'll link these below because they were really good. And then also, I'm wearing them now, but just a pair of leggings. They were good for the plane and just either around the tea house or just short trekking days when it was a bit warmer. And also just some trackies. These are perfect for when we got to the tea house at night. Wanted to just change out of our trekking gear, whether it had been raining or we were just sweating and gross and just needed something comfy. At night we'd normally put on our thermals and then chuck some trackies on and sleep in these as well. They were great. So I took one pair of merino wool thermals. So just one pants and one top. Would definitely recommend merino wool because they dry super quickly, they're really lightweight and keep you very warm, and they don't smell. Like, wore these basically every single night and some trekking days and they still don't smell, so would definitely recommend those. And then tops, obviously sports bras. I took two just active like t-shirts, short sleeve ones. Honestly, I only needed one. I think I wore them the first 2 days and that was it. So probably just one short sleeve top. So long sleeve tops I took two for trekking. So just this one's more lightweight. They're both from Kathmandu. that was just kind of a more lightweight one. That was really good. And then this one was a bit thicker. This is a Merino one, so I use this kind of on the colder days, and sometimes put my thermals underneath these when it was obviously like -10. But again, Merino doesn't smell. This was really great as well. And then I just took one fleece jumper, again Kathmandu, but it's really thick and super warm, and I've basically lived in this. Like, it is dirty now, but also doesn't smell. And yeah, that was really good for layering as well. So on the coldest day I'd have my thermal top, this top, my fleece jumper, and then I also took my down jacket. So this is the one I've got, the Kathmandu X Series 800 down jacket. So I can link that below as well. And it folds up so small, it's so thin, like it's crazy how warm it keeps you considering how thin it is. So yeah, lay that on top of my fleece, and then I also have my rain jacket. So this is a Gore-Tex Kathmandu jacket. I'll find the name and link it below. But this was really handy. It rained only twice, 2 separate days, but it was great. And also wore it in the snow because it did snow on us one day as well, and we went hiking in it. So I mean, yeah, it was perfect. It's got the pockets on the outside and everything, and when I hung it up to dry back at the tea house, it dried really quickly and the water just ran straight off it, so that was amazing. And then I also took some waterproof pants, just like in a fold up little pocket. I didn't use them at all, but it is handy to have, especially depending what month you go. But if we had to wake up one morning and it was pissing down rain and we had to trek 8 hours, then, you know, this would have been really handy. So I didn't need it. We did go a good time of the year. We went in October, but probably would recommend taking one just in case. They're light and compact anyway. And then socks. So I took, these are the ones I wore, not this pair. I took I think three pairs of these for trekking socks. They're merino wool, and they're just really comfortable and work really well with the boots. So I think I took 3 pairs of these. I took just a small short pair of ankle socks to go with my runners, and then I also took like a thick pair of kind of snow socks for the coldest day when it was freezing, which was good, and also just to sleep in. Like, and a couple of days we laid up double socks because it was so cold. Obviously took a fresh pair of underwear for every day. So also net gaiters. I've got this one, which is like a warm fleecy one. So basically just like slip it over your head and keeps your neck warm. You can also use it when the air is really cold or if it's snowing or raining. Kind of, it goes over your nose or your mouth as well. Even just for the dust when it's quite dry. And so I also got a lightweight one that we just bought here in Kathmandu before we left. I mainly just use this one for the warmth. I didn't really use the thin one. It's kind of hard when it's over your mouth or your nose, just kind of feels like you can't really breathe properly, but to stop the cold air from coming in, and then that's how you develop a cough, so good idea to take one of those. So I took a power bank as well. This was really great. This is a pretty big one, so it lasted probably 4 or so charges of my phone, and then you just have to pay to charge this back up at the tea houses, but because it lasted so long I didn't have to do it very often. If you are going, I would look into a solar one. A few people had them and that's a really good idea because obviously free charging. Depends on how sunny it is on the day, but I probably would look into taking a solar one if I was to do it again. So this is the backpack that I took. It's the Kathmandu Katabatic 28 litre. It was the perfect size for me. I mean, I did have my camera gear, which took up a fair bit of room, but it was good to be able to fit, you know, my fleece jacket, my down jacket, my waterproof jacket. You never know what the weather's going to do and how it's going to change, so it's good to have everything and just be prepared, because if your stuff's in your duffel bag that the porter's got, you can't access that till that night when you get to your tea house. So you kind of want to have your gloves in here, everything, just in case it does rain or something happens. But yeah, this backpack was really good. I love it. And it's got obviously the waist straps as well, which take a lot of pressure off your back, and the chest straps as well. So yes, would recommend that. I also have the 2-litre Kathmandu water bladder. That was really good because the backpack has a pouch for it in here, and then it basically just comes through the top, and then as you're walking you can just sip out of this rather than having to reach out for your drink bottle. And just easy to make sure you get enough water in while you're trekking. And then a rain cover for your day pack. Make sure you get one that fits, obviously the right size. This is a medium for the backpack that I've got. We did use this a couple of times, so it was good to have it. As I said, you never know when it's going to rain or snow, so and it's easy, just nice and compact. Just sit it in the bottom of your day pack and then bring it out when you need it. Obviously headphones, they were good sometimes for at night if you either were calling someone back home or you wanted to listen to music or watch a video on your phone. Obviously took my camera. This is one of them. Obviously I'm filming on the other. So this is just Canon 70D. I kept this in my day pack all the time. But while I was trekking, I just used my little G7X Mark II because it was a lot easier to just kind of keep in one of these little waist pockets and pull out whenever I needed it, whereas this I'd have to stop and get it out. I didn't really want to carry it on me all the time because the dust also from the mountains just obviously is going to get into the camera, and also if you fall or trip you're going to damage your camera. So I kind of pick and chose when I had it out, but whenever we stopped at night or lunches or anything like that, I would get it out. So it's good to have both and have the option. I've took a lot of photos on my phone as well. Also took trekking poles. We just bought these in Kathmandu before we left. They were like $20 Australian, pretty cheap. Probably only used these maybe 3 days. They were good for going downhill because it does hurt your knees a lot, and these take a lot of pressure off that, make it easier. Also the day to and from base camp was quite hard, so these just helped out. The only thing was when I used these, obviously I wasn't taking as many photos, so that's why I didn't use them as much, probably just because I wanted to be able to like grab my camera out easy and not have to like worry about where to put these. So, but also in saying that, Ash obviously rolled her ankle while we were trekking, and then she used these every day, so I would definitely recommend at least taking a pair just in case. And as I said, just pick them up cheap in Kathmandu before you leave if you don't have a good pair already. And then in your wallet, just make sure you've got enough cash for the whole trek. There is an ATM in Lukla and Namche Bazaar, but you can't rely on them to be working. A lot of the time they don't, so make sure you, I mean, if you're doing a tour, ask your guide or just do your research on how much money you should take. Take into consideration, you know, Wi-Fi, charging, showers, things that you may not realize cost, but they do. And then obviously take your passport as well. You may need that for permits and things like that. And take an emergency $500 in US currency, just in case you need a helicopter to get back. We were stuck in Lukla for a whole day, waited at the airport for like 8 hours, couldn't get out. A few people had to come back, or they were going to miss their international flights, so they did have to pay $500 US to get a helicopter back. So we just kind of had that emergency fund sitting there in case we needed it, but luckily we didn't. Yes, I think that's it. If I think of anything else, I'll list it below, and I'll, as I said, I'll put everything into categories to make it easier. It's a packing list. But overall, I think we packed pretty well. Nothing that we can really think of that we needed and didn't have, apart from like things we could buy along the way, like toilet paper. We didn't really take any stuff that we didn't need either. It was kind of perfect. We were allowed 10 kilos for our duffel bags for the porters to carry, and we both pretty much were spot on that. And then our day packs, I think they had to be 5 kilos without your water and stuff. So they do weigh them at the airport, but they're not super strict either. So that's what you're going to be carrying on your back anyway. So just take what you feel comfortable with. Yeah, and I did obviously get the Kathmandu Adventure sponsorship. So a lot of this gear was sent to me from Kathmandu. So obviously huge thanks to them. I'm so grateful to have been sent all this stuff. I did buy some of it myself, but a lot of it was sent to me, and it was just helped out so much financially as well, and just to have quality gear that kept me warm and, you know, was completely waterproof and just really good quality. So thanks again to Kathmandu. Yeah, I think that's it.